Welcome back to this channel. Ang superannuation natin is one of our key investment in the future. Superannuation is one of our biggest asset din, no? Outside of our family home. Pera natin, pinaghirapan natin. At maaaring natanong mo sa sarili mo. O maaaring pinagtatalunan yung mga magkakaibigan. Ang topic niyo is, saan mapupunta ito? Kung sakaling, no, knock on wood, may nangyari sa inyo o may namatay. Ang daming noise, ang daming opinion. At yun ang ating lilinawin ngayon. Ang title ng video na ito is What Will Happen to Your Super When You Die? Kung bago ka pala sa channel na ito, ako si Rom, licensed financial advisor, accountant, tax agent dito sa Australia. So kanino mapupunta ang superannuation mo kung namatay ka bigla? Sa beneficiary na nilagay mo doon. Isang form lang yun na pinapapirma sa atin, no? Ang iba dyan, hindi na iniisip kung sinong nilalagay, no? Mayroon siya kamag-anak, maaring magulang, maaring kapatid, permahan niya, and then submit. And ang question dun is, valid ba yun sa trustee natin? Tama ba ang pag-execute niya? Because if something happens to you, the trustee will look into that document, no? At bakit kailangan nating mag-nominate ng beneficiary? Kasi, ang kaibahan ng superannuation, insurance inside that superannuation, hindi yan kagaya ng property mo, ng kotse mo, ng investment mo, na part siya ng estate. Ang superannuation is a trust. Maaaring ikaw ang beneficial owner, but you can legally access it pag entitled ka na. And one of that is death. Namit mo yung condition of release niyan kapag may namatay, no? And nominating a beneficiary will give clarity sa trustee natin kung kanino niya ibibigay. Kasi kung wala kang nilagay na beneficiary, the trustee o yung nagmamanage ng pera mo will apply relevant Australian laws kung paano niya didistributan. It could be to all of your dependents or some of your dependents. At maaring magkagulo sila, no? So to avoid that dispute, no, family dispute, you need to nominate a beneficiary. At sino ang pwedeng manominate? Who you can nominate as beneficiary? So 5 lang po, so pakinggan nyo and double check nyo ang ginawa ninyo, no? 1 is your spouse or de facto partner. Number 2 is 1 or more of your children. Number 3 is interdependent. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Person you live together, no? Sharing mutual love, domestic support, and financial support, no? Number 4 is other financial dependents. You need to prove that to your trustee na financial dependents mo talaga siya. It's defined by law, taxation law man or superannuation law. And number 5 is your legal personal representative or yung executor ng will mo. So check mo kung yung 5 yun is yun ang ni-nominate mo. What if you are not sure who to nominate? Maring single ka dito sa Australia, lahat ng kamag-anak mo or maring beneficiary mo na Pilipinas, hindi mo alam kung sino kaya ni-nominate ko as beneficiary. The safest, no? So consult your lawyer or solicitor or estate planner, no? Regarding this. The safest is to nominate your legal personal representative and create a valid will, no? So that pag may nangyari sa'yo, it will go to your executor or legal personal representative and i-distribute siya based on the instruction of yours, no, na nilagay mo sa last will and testament or will dito sa Australia. Ano naman ang types ng nomination? It could be binding and non-binding. So, sa word pa lang, binding, as long as na-execute siya properly at saka yung binanggit ko kanina, yung 5 na tao, no, na pwede mong i-nominate. Kung ginawa mo na yun, the trustee will follow that. They will follow your wish. Pag non-binding naman, the trustee will consider that, no? Pero sila pa rin ang mag-decide. They will apply relevant laws ulit, no? Australian law, kung paano nila i-distribute. Because your wish is not binding sa kanila. Kaya sa word lang, it's a non-binding nomination, no? Paboritong question ito yung paano naman kung gumawa ka ng binding na nomination, binding the trustee is bound with that, no? Pero minor ang nilagay mo. Common ito, lagi ko nakikita ito sa mag-asawa, meron sila, nagkaanak sila, tapos papalitan nila yung beneficiary nomination at 50-50 siya. 50% sa asawa at 50% sa baby. Kagad, no? Actually, pwede naman yun, pero what will happen kung namatay ang isa doon, no? So, the 50% of course, binding, pupunta sa asawa, but the 50% will go to the baby. Pero baby kasi yun, no? Hindi, bibigyan mo siya ng 500,000, for example, 1 million ang benefit mo sa superannuation, including the insurance. So, ano mangyayari? Hindi niya ma-manage yun, so it will be held in trust. Nasa trust mo na siya, no? Hanggang mag-edad siya ng 18 years old. And then, pag 18 na siya, tatanggap siya ng regular income mula doon, no? Hanggang mag-25 years old. Pag 25 na siya, pwede na niyan kunin yung 50%. Dahil sa kanya yun, and you instruct the trustee, di ba? Na binding yun, yung instruction mo, beneficiary payment and tax, no? Tax, laging involved talaga ang tax pag may nakukuha ka, no? Ang kagandahan naman, pag financial dependent siya, kumari asawa, part siya as financial dependent, no? So, tax-free naman siya. Pag non-financial dependent naman, anong example dito? Maring anak mo, pero may trabaho na. O wala na sa bahay mo, hindi nakatira. Independent na siya. Tapos nilagay mo pa rin siya as beneficiary. Taxable naman yon, no? So, check it, no? Yung inyong beneficiary nomination ngayon, no? So, kailan dapat natin i-check yung ating nomination, no? Or beneficiary nomination? Regularly, no? Bisitahin mo naman yan, di ba? No? Maring nakalimutan mo na kung sinong na-nominate mo doon, no? Pero, siguro dapat mag-trigger ang pag-check natin kung may mga major changes sa inyong situation, no? Anong common dyan? Marriage, no? Nag-asawa ka ulit or nag-asawa ka, nagkaroon ng divorce, no? Maaring beneficiary mo pa rin yung dati mong asawa, no? So, kailangan i-update mo rin siya. Nagkaroon ka ng anak, no? Having kids, check it, no? Maaring di-distribute mo siya sa mga bata, no? Kagaya ng example ko kanina. And then, pag nagkaroon ng death naman of loved ones, maaring namatayan ka, and then, of course, i-update mo rin yung beneficiary nomination. Kung may natutunan kayo sa discussion natin ngayon, like and subscribe. Kung may question ka, pwede kang mag-comment, no? At kung may kakilala ka naman na gusto niyo maintindihan, no, kung saan mapupunta yung superannuation, kung may nangyari sa kanya, i-share mo itong video nito sa kanya. And kita-kita ulit tayo next week. Bye!